Hello there, journaling friends and followers and anybody who happens to end up watching this video. Hello. I am very excited and delighted that I have finally finished another one of my altered book journals, one of my art journals, I should say as well. A short while ago, wasn't a short while ago, was it? It was a while ago. I went through all my journals that I needed to finish, and this was one of them, and I finished it. I actually finished it in August, but it's been so busy I haven't been able to have time to do a flip through, but that's what I'm going to do today. So here it is. It's I started it in May 2016. Oh my goodness. Oh, yes. And you know, it's one of my resolutions next year, and also just going forward, is I'm going to really try to cut down the number of different journals that I work in, because it's quite satisfying to see a progression. Anyway, I have a slurp of my tea now, excuse me. So, also, I found this in a dollar shop and it looks quite fun, so I might be making one final touch to a picture in here. Let's see. So here we are, flip through, and as always is a contents page. All of these pictures are in it. So now, of course, who would ever start a journal at the beginning of their journal? I mean, why would you do that? I don't. So this first one was done in July 17. 12th of July 2017. I did that one. Another one in 17. This was I should have made a note of it. It was one of these journal along videos by an artist, and I've forgotten who it was. I didn't make a note of it, and it's such a long time ago that I can't remember now. But I joined in. I really enjoyed it. It had lots of layers, and then painting over and collage. And yeah, this one was done 2018. It seems like yesterday that I did this one. It's bizarre, but it's just basically stenciling. Stenciling and then putting the mantra. This one is using the original fish that's on the page. I love doing this. I love incorporating elements into my paintings. Love letter to the sea. And that's just a girl's face. And I thought her hair could sort of look a bit like scales. Well, that's the intention anyway. This one I did with Gulf Sprite, I remember. And the idea was to use red as a background. And in the end, I didn't like it very much. I really enjoyed doing it, but I don't know. I didn't like the red, or maybe it was this particular red paint, and it was difficult to cover with other things. But it was an enjoyable process, like all of these collages and painting. It's the process, isn't it, that matters most. This one is the goddess and the hare's egg. Because I always think it's really strange. You have hares and you have eggs. Like, I don't know why. But anyway, I know that the hare is associated with the goddess. So this is like an Easter picture, but it was done in June 2016. So this is one of the first ones that I did in this book. So for some reason I decided when I was doing this book that I'd come in a few pages and start there. Funny, eh? Anyway, Do you do that? Do you start sort of in the middle? I think I get a bit afraid of the front bit. I always leave a blank page for the contents, and then I get sort of, oh, I don't want to start it there, so I come in. It's very strange. Anyway, this one is out of the Voynich manuscript. I took it offline and I made a print of it. It's very old, it's out of copyright. Anyway, they don't actually know who created it. It's an ancient, well, they don't even know if it's ancient. It's strange because it's got writing in it that's never been decoded. So they don't actually know what it was about. So I found that quite fascinating. And I started to make a spread, and that's about as far as I wanted to take it at that time. Here's two girls' faces. This was after Gulf Sprite. Again, she was doing things with making countries into her girls' hair. So I did that too. And I think actually I now notice that really I should colour this. I've gessoed that and forgotten to come back in, and I'm going to colour it the sort of greeny yellow brown. That'll look much better. So I haven't quite finished this, but I'm going to carry on. This one is quite recent. April 21. Just another girl. And I love the teal colour. Got quite attracted to that, and I've stamped gold over the top. Patience is a form of kindness. Yeah, it's something I have to work on. If I can be patient, I can be kind. This one is a found poem. I cut up bits of text and I sort of played around with it, and I made this kind of poem. It says, "From time to time I receive a clearer view of something I had overlooked. The chance belonging of the world, the sea, a hillside, animals and birds, the land making itself felt." And then I made a sort of landscape to go with it. This page is eye practice, drawing different types of eyes. I think that was an exercise that Gulf Sprite gave us to do. This one is a bit strange looking, but it's based on, I think it's based on a reference. I saw a model with a top on, and I just did it. Vanishing it is. I quite like the colours, the oranges that happened. And then we're back to this one. This one was using napkins and sunflowers. I quite like the way that's come out, and then I sort of over painted it. Be good to my mistakes. That's a Kate Bush song, actually. Love Kate Bush. And these are also bits from Napkins. That one. Hopefully that's better now. Better view. Yeah, so this page. Another one, another girl. Sad. That's quite a sad one. And this one is another recent one. Again, I've taken, that jellyfish was on the page. This is a collaged piece that I've stuck down. And I haven't actually cut round it. It had a white background, so I've just come in and coloured that blue, because it's easier than trying to cut it out. So that's what I've done with that. That was on the page. So was that. And then that's my jellyfish hair. That's my girl. Jellyfish hair. I wonder if she could do with a moustache. Let's have a look. Bandit, this one's called. I've all given them different names. Vendido. Oh. Yeah, I think so. So let's take this off. Ooh, I've not used these before. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this will come off. Ooh, it might destroy the moustache that's underneath it. I'll try and we'll come back in just a moment. I'll show you what I did. I used, this is really good for getting backings off. You just put it underneath and it prizes it off. I found from experience that is the best way. There you go, girl. Nice. I think that just finishes off that picture. Now this picture was definitely done with Gulf Sprite. So she inspired us with a collage. And I went off and this is what I came up with. Well, and I'm quite happy with that spread. It worked out quite well. It was one of those times when you're looking for images and things in your stash and in magazines. And they all come together nicely. And so yeah. This one was copied from reference. I don't have the reference right now. So. But I like the way the spread ended up. This is kind of sort of semi-finished, but I just don't want to do any more to it, so that's that. This one, Blue Lotus in the Fire, Dream of Protection. I had a dream at the beginning. Was this the beginning of COVID? Yeah, it was. Look, March. I had a dream of protection. Something about a circle of protection. But anyway, that's what I drew. It's a girl. She's protected even though she's in the fire. That's the sort of what the message is. We've been through the fire, haven't we, with COVID? This one is a collage. Elements of a landscape. These are, this is a black and white drawing that I've printed onto tracing paper, and it makes a lovely transparency, so I've put it there. These are hands. This is an image that I created myself in Photoshop, actually. These are my husband's hands. He was my hand model, and I put the moon in, so that part was created by me, and then I just printed it out in black and white. These are the Alps and the mountains behind us. This is actually water, but I thought it looked like sky, and so yeah, that's how that picture came to be. Again, this is one of those pictures I really enjoyed doing. It's always the process, isn't it? It's always how you got to where you get to. That's important. This is using a sort of special watercolour paper. I've just stuck it into the book because I needed somewhere to put it. This is just watercolour practice. This is a study in blues and red. I really, 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 really love this colour combination. And as I'm looking on my phone, that's not the right blue. Isn't that weird? No, it's not doing the right blue. This, in real life, is a sort of tealy turquoise. Oh well, we can't be perfectionists. But if you hold on just a minute, I'm going to check that I've got my settings correct. That's quite annoying. Anyway, here's a lady that I sketched. This is like a sort of canvas this is canvas. I had a canvas pad and I just did a sketch and smudged it. And it's quite loose. I quite like the way the face came out. Not a lot of overworking on it, just quickly doing it. And then I just gave her blue eyes. Underneath, I've journaled You may look at every painting and still not know the depths of my heart. Right. This one is the moon with silver hair reflecting. Well, she's not actually reflecting, is she? But that part is. Anyway, this is what I love to do. Well, at this time I was really enjoying deliberately making watercolors bloom. You know, when they sort of go, I think that's what you call it, bloom. I love that effect, and I thought it was a very watery effect. That's why I did it. And of course I haven't put a date on it, so I can't tell you exactly when it was I was doing that. And this one was done in 18, and I was using texture. I did texture first, and I found it really, really, really difficult because I wanted to do a face over the texture and it just wasn't working, and it was all a bit rough, and it was like a process of acceptance, you know, that whole page. This one about elephants. Oh, get some more light in. And when elephants purr, apparently they purr at each other. This was in the original book, and this is just another girl. I wonder if I can lighten this up a bit. There you go. Yeah. Still talking about elephants. This is from the original book, and this is an elephant totem. And then there's that was done in 2020. This one was done in 18, July 18, and I wanted to keep the words, her hair to be the words. I quite like the way that's worked. And she's dreaming. Time to travel is what she's thinking. Little did I know I wouldn't get to travel for a while. This is just playing with stencils really, and colour. A bright yellow and pink, neon type pink, just playing with colour really. And of course I had to put girl into it. Here's another one. That was the robin that was on the page. It hasn't come out very well. The robin looks a bit weird. What have I done? I don't know. Then this was started during Gulf Sprite live stream on the 31st of December 2019. Gosh. How wow, that was just before COVID. Little did we know what was in store the next year. Because apparently it was already cooking up, wasn't it? It was starting. But we wouldn't know about it for a few months, I suppose, till March 2020. Anyway. This one. Quite fun, look. Hee hee. I love doing this page. And I'll tell you why. Because I started it, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I kept the birds in. I kept that bee on a flower. Can you see that? That bee on a flower, and then I sort of made my own flower, if you see what I mean, brought it wider than the image. That's after gessoing the background. And then I made it into that plant. And then I discovered in the text 5 birds. You know, there's 5 birds. And that was like a sort of synchronicity, so I love it when that happens. So, because this was like lots of other pictures and other birds and things, you know, the original. I don't have a picture of it. So in the end, do you speak the language of birds? Freedom, freedom, freedom. Birds symbolise freedom, I guess. So that was that one. This one. Again, that wing was in the original, so was that. Metatron's cube has made an appearance, like it often does. And she's sort of dancing on it like an angel, and she's flying off in the background. Oh, yep, I can't remember when I did it. This one was quite recent, May 21. Now, this one, this is how I normally start my girls. I do a drawing, and I sort of use a pencil stub to shade. But this one, I quite liked the sort of way the background was coming through, and I just decided that I wanted to leave it as is and not work on it anymore. And it's called What Are You Waiting For? This is another one. Free Your Spirit. I think I've got a video showing how I did that. That one. That was one of my how-to videos that I did. This one. The One Left Behind, it says. And that was the original in the painting, in the book. There was a crow. So I did a sort of landscape with a castle, and then a girl with a crow standing on her head. I don't know if you can see here, but I had trouble with my paint here. Sometimes, because I'm not too fussy about the paints I use in my journals, and I get into trouble sometimes. I just kind of like, it won't behave itself. But because I don't worry too much, it's never a problem. You know, that's something I really like to preserve in my art, is not being too precious about it, especially in my journals, for heaven's sake. Now, here's another one. This was done in 2016. So I must have gone right to the back of the book to do this one. Very strange. Probably because I wanted that crow. I think that crow was in the picture. Oops, I'll let you see it. I wanted that crow in the picture. That's why I did that page, I think. And then I've just extended it a bit. And this is quite a dark page. It's got some dark ideas there. Nicely hidden, because nobody wants to see that kind of stuff every day. Here's another girl experimenting with how to do hair on this one. This one was another one I did. I should put links. I'll put links, if I can find them, I'll put links in the comments section, you know, in the text section, so you can see these if you're interested. This was another how-to. This was fun, actually, because this was one of those ones that evolved. I didn't really know what I was going to do until I did it. And this is, I quite like the way it's sort of going into the distance. And I quite like the way this tree's turned out. Here, the silent quotes, listen for answers. So that was taken out of the text that was there. So I quite like that. This is just a texture page, a napkin. This one was inspired by the title on the page, The Old Man of the Woods. And I interpret that as the Green Man. So that's my version of a green man. And then I got some reference for these trees, some stylized Art Nouveau reference, and put one either side. So that was quite good. Quite fun to do. But I don't know when I did it, because I didn't date it. Naughty, naughty. Never dating. Anyway. Here's another one. She looks a bit weird, doesn't she? I was tempted. I was tempted to change that one. I know. I have to give her a moustache. See, I don't like her nose. Her nose has come out enormous. I can't tell you why. So, I'm going to give her a moustache. That might make things a bit better. Here she is. Handlebar moustache. Oh. I think she looks much better now. So that's that one. This one was done in 2017, and it's kind of like, it's got these swivelly bits on it. I was experimenting. Whoops. And I was experimenting with silhouettes as well, trying to draw silhouettes. They're very difficult to draw, aren't they? So I think I got it from a magazine. I just cut the silhouette out so it's like a landscape through it. Anyway, so it's saying find freedom in captivity. I suppose what it's saying is, you know, you can find freedom just by looking around you into the natural world. And then I've got one there. I'm not quite sure why. We're all one, aren't we? I mean, sometimes I come back and I forget why I do things. And I suppose a picture will mean something when you've done it, and it will also mean something later on because you're a different person when you next look at it. Now, this page is, I think this is my favourite page in this journal. And I'll tell you why. It's my favourite because these elements were on the page already. So I didn't have to draw whales, and I love whales. They were all on there, so all I did was I gessoed very, very carefully around them. Gessoed the whole page out. Then I drew her swimming through. Oh yeah, as I was gessoing out, I left nice words like harmonic, playful, playfully, songs, sounds, and swimming. And then I thought, right, I'm going to have her swimming through. And then I made her hair look like seaweed, which is quite fun. And life is easier when you go with the flow. Let's get that close. Life is easier when you go with the flow. And then I got my liner pen and I drew these kind of waves. So all in all, I like the way that's turned out. It's all come together. Very satisfying, that page, for me. Now this one. This one was from another artist called Annie Hammond, I think her name is. She had a free video up and I copied it. And if you look at the video, you'll see my face has turned out very similar to hers, basically because I was copying hers. She does good videos. I really like her approach as well. And I like the way she shades faces. So I learned quite a lot from watching that video. It's a collage with blue neocolour and white acrylic, then Payne's grey and white. There we are. For once, I've written a note as to how I did it. Unable to perceive the shape of you, I find you all around me. Your presence fills my eyes with your love. It humbles my heart, for you are everywhere. Isn't that beautiful? So that's a quote. This is a mandala, obviously. But if you look, it's 7-pointed, which is very difficult to draw. I had such trouble initially working it all out. And again, I was quite satisfied that I managed to do it. So that's that one. And then this one is just a girl. And yes, this is a bit negative really, I suppose. Talking about narcissists or people that are on that spectrum, because true narcissists are quite rare. It's becoming a bit of a buzzword, isn't it? And we all know people who are a bit sort of like that, a bit sort of self-centered, I suppose. And we all do it ourselves. But I think that's what that was about. I had a realisation about somebody, and it was like the veil was lifted. But you've got to have compassion for these people because it often comes from a place of real hurt. Anyway, that is the end of my journal. And it really is finished now, apart from that bit. So I'm just going to finish that bit of her hair. And it's done. Thanks for watching. And do subscribe, like, and come back and see more videos. And if you're interested, I make these, not these, I make altered book journals. which I sell in my Etsy shop. I'd love it if you'd have a look around, especially if you like journaling and art journaling, because they're just made for that purpose. So anyway, thanks for watching, and you stay safe and happy arting, and do leave comments. Bye for now.